There's a lot of things to hate about this world, but Cherry sees nothing but love. Was it the air around her or the air she brought with her? Truth is, it was neither because it had all been delusion. Here in Crimson Halls, hatred is not a language we teach. We do not teach rebellion. We don't have sadness, and anger is unheard of. Most of us are unaware we have organs. We have Dr. Hazel as the head of the Collard department. This is where we keep spontaneous subjects with no true purpose. It's said that the origins of the department is due to a successful experiment regarding solitary confinement. We call it linear intelligence, and it can easily be manipulated based on the language you teach them. Every subject in the Collard department is vastly intelligent. And for that reason, we reform them into clusters of different spoken languages to observe them without risk. No words are truer than the ones coming straight from the heart. Fortunately for us, they don't have a heart, so we decide the words they will be using on the behalf of the public. Cherry is from the children's department. She's 16 with a lot of untamed energy. Although she lacked the spontaneity factor that would end her up in the Collard department, she had a difficult personality that would cause unnecessary conflict with other experiments that lead her to be raised in a solitary chamber. Gap. Cherry was reaching the age where all her counterparts were slowly dying off. The funny thing was, they were clearly still alive and well, but to her, they just weren't themselves. They weren't special anymore. Staring at the overlapping scars down her abdomen, she wondered if the time would come too when she no longer felt the need to live for herself. Her favorite part of being alive was that everything felt like a little game to her. Stealing taffies from the front desk, telling on others when they did the same, putting knots in other girls' hairs, and growing mold in every jar she could get her hands on. Her late friends would glaze over her as just silly entertainment. She wasn't someone to be taken seriously even when her crimes were serious. To them, she was an actor only visible through a one-way screen. Cherry seemed to be in her own world at all times. A lot of her memories were stuck somewhere in her bones, and as far as she knew, her life had been perfect. Head of the children's department was Welleris Maxley, a 34-year-old woman who looked much older than her age. It was her job to manage the largest task force at the Crimson Halls Institute, but she often found herself not up for the task. In fact, whenever it was time to look over the monthly data, she'd break it down to bits and hand it over to her subordinates who would eagerly take on the job in hopes to getting a reference the day she quit. She never quit. On one particular day, while Cherry was busy clogging all the toilets, Welleris decided she had seen too much of Cherry.